Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and some of my planner supplies are a mess. All right, so if you are new around here, I have a ton of planner supplies. I am a former member of the Happy Planner Squad, which means they sent me a ton of things the year I was on the squad. I have a lot of supplies. I love using planners and stickers and paper and all the things, and I've done pretty well with organizing my sticker books and with organizing the actual planners, but what I haven't done well with is a lot of the little accessories. It's just kind of all put in a cabinet. It's a little bit difficult to find what I'm looking for. So today I'm going to spend a little bit of time getting that cabinet under control. So if you want to check it out and see the whole process, let's go. All right, so here is the cabinet that I am talking about. So it's these bins that are starting to cause me a little bit of an issue. Up here, this stuff is kind of okay. I probably just need to straighten up a little bit. These accessories, doing fine for the most part, but down here, it's kind of all a really big mess. And so I want to take a little bit of time, go through these bins. It's a lot of filler paper, and these bins work great for storing it. I just can't ever find exactly what I need. And I'm going to continue to use these bins, but kind of change up the system a little bit. And I'll show you guys how I plan to do that. All right, so here are the bins I'm starting with today. This one, I believe, is primarily filled with filler paper, I'm pretty sure. I have one back here that I think may have some filler paper, but a lot of extension packs. This one is memory keeping, 12 by 12, something like 12 by 12. Not 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11, the big memory keeping. And this one has folders and dividers. Dividers? No, pocket folders. See, I don't even know what all is in here. So here's the plan. We're going to start with these. These feel easier to me. So basically, I'm just going to clean them up, get them sorted, get them into a place that makes sense for me. And then we're going to start tackling the filler paper, and I'll come back when I get to that part. So first, let me sort through this. I'll put you guys on fast forward, and then we're going to get going. I think it's hard to decide. Usually I'm a big proponent of taking things out of their packaging. So I think maybe we're going to give that a try. My concern is that these are getting a little bit bent in here. So they will flatten out when it's time to use them again. Like that part I'm not worried about. So let me just figure out what I want to do with that. Otherwise, let's get going. The number one reason to spend time organizing your supplies is, of course, to be able to find what you have. But the secondary reason is to have them organized in a way that inspires you to use them. That's why a lot of times I talk about form and function in my organization. Was this functioning okay? Kind of. Everything was in the same place. These are all planner supplies. If I really knew what I wanted, I could have found it within one of these 4 bins. But was it inspiring me to pull out these bins? Not so much. Was I using a lot of the extension packs that I found, or these wet erase boards, or these vision boards? No, because I wasn't inspired to use them by the way they were organized. So spending a little bit of time in organizing your supplies in a way that not only allows you to know what you have and where it is, but also inspires you to use your supplies is really important. What I opted to do was to take cardstock. I cut it down to 9.5 inches wide so that it would fit within these bins. These are bins from the Home Edit collection from Walmart. I love using them. They fit classic Happy Planner supplies really well. And I took that cardstock and I laminated it to make it extra strong. And I'm adding labels, and it's serving as dividers that allows me to open my cabinet and then to very easily see what is in the cabinet, what is in each of these boxes, and how can I flip to it pretty easily. Also, anytime you take the time to organize, reorganize, update, maintain some of your supplies. It gets your hands on the supplies and it triggers in your head a reminder of the fact that you actually own that supply. Coming through all of these products or going through all of these products, I was able to be reminded of what I had so that I could remember, oh yes, I do have these extension packs. Or for instance, I have a ton of memory planning supplies in here. Turns out those are great for creative journaling supplies. So if you are into creative journaling, taking some of those memory planning pages and mixing them into your creative journal, that's a fantastic way to kind of extend your creative journaling. I had a ton of different extension packs, which I love to use, and I like mixing up the different layouts, but it was so hard for me to find the actual one I wanted or the layout I wanted, because you can't necessarily tell what the layout is by looking at the divider unless you have the world's greatest memory and you know what all of these different extension packs happen to be. For me, taking the time, dividing them up, clearly labeling them with the laminated dividers by vertical, classic extension packs, monthly, daily pages. I had a ton of different daily pages that I was very excited to get a chance to use in the upcoming months. Having this all clearly labeled and organized is really inspiring me to dig back into these supplies. I'd also encourage you to take a little time to think of what you are most likely to grab for. A lot of people like to organize their extension packs, their filler paper, their accessories. They like to go ahead and put them on the Happy Planner discs, extra discs that they might have, and then they just pull out or pull down a set of filler paper and flip through and pull out what they need. For me, these bins work the best in my space. The shelf space that I have is reserved for actual planners, and I feel like if all of my filler paper were on discs, I would think of it as a planner, if that makes sense, and I would be less likely to grab for it. I know it's not what's going to work for everybody, but you need to take the time to figure out what is going to work for you and how you like to plan, how you like to organize, how you like to pull supplies in your creative space. I will say that taking the time to organize the different extension packs also showed me that I have space to keep some of my extra planning pages. Like when I break apart a planner that maybe I get on clearance and I want to save some of the vertical pages that I know I can read dates, things like that, I could fit them in here and have all of those together. So that was pretty cool. The amount of filler paper I had and all of the different categories of filler paper I had was crazy. A ton of daily pages, tons of lined paper. I think that was probably the most. I had what I called priority block pages. So you see it up in the upper right hand corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, several pages that kind of helped you identify priorities that you were working on. I had weekly planning pages. I had grid paper. I had tasks list. I had menu planning. I had dot grid. I had all of the different things and they were all mixed up together, you guys. And so it was great to sort them out into these different categories. I am most likely to choose my filler paper based on its layout. So for me, it made sense. You may want to organize yours by color. You may want to organize yours by season. It depends on what your filler paper stash looks like and how you are most likely to go looking for a specific type of filler paper. In case you are wondering, I did end up keeping any of the block pads I had. I kept them together as block pads because I do pull them out in big groupings like that. And so I just put them in with the rest of the filler paper, but in block pad form. I will say that this was so satisfying to do. It's something that's been on my to-do list forever, is to kind of tackle that cabinet. I do still have work to do in that cabinet, but these 4 bins were what I had time for today. I need a better system for keeping some old dividers, or perhaps need to destash the dividers that I have, and then organizing some planner supplies from other companies than the Happy Planner. I need to get on that as well, but it's a process. You're not going to be able to accomplish everything you want for organization all at one time. Take it off in bits and pieces. Take, bite off what you can chew at the time. And any time you're able to spend is going to make a difference in the overall organization of your space and the way you use your supplies. All right, so here is the end result. I'm actually super pumped about this. I feel like I'll be able to very quickly pull out a bin and find what I need. This one is all kind of filler paper. This one is some really specific filler paper plus extension packs, so I can find all of these. This one gets into some other accessories. We have the decal clings, large dividers, vision boards, all of this business. And then the one that maybe isn't working the best is this one for memory planning. I know these are kind of bent in here, but once I put them in an album, they're not going to stay bent. So I don't think that that's going to be a big problem for me. Here is what they look like in the cabinet. The ones I don't need very often, the memory keeping ones, and then some of those accessories I just pull out once a month. Those are in the back. The ones that I might need to get to a little bit more often are in the front. But I just feel really good about being able to find what I'm looking for. I don't pull these out on a daily basis. So the fact that they're in bins behind a cabinet door is going to be fine for me. I just like that they're organized, that they're labeled. That is super important. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Huge shout out to all of my patrons. You can see them on that board over there. Thank you guys for all of your support. I hope that all of you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.